Good morning, students. I extend a hearty welcome to all the first year PUC students of Basic Mathematics of Gopal Swami PU College. My name is Uma Devi and I am the head of the Department of Mathematics in Gopal Swami PU College. Now I just want to give you some information about the syllabus, that means what you have to study in first year PUC. Now in the first year PUC there are 4 units. In basic mathematics, there are 4 units under which there are 17 chapters. In each unit, we teach you one branch of mathematics. In mathematics, there are many branches. We are going to teach you only 4 branches under 4 units and under which there are 17 chapters. One branch is algebra, next one is trigonometry, third one is analytical geometry, and the fourth one is commercial arithmetic. Since you are all students of commerce here, we are teaching you something about the commercial arithmetic. Now let me start with the first unit. The first unit or unit 1. Unit 1, this is about algebra. You have heard the word algebra in the lower classes. Now the first branch or the first unit is algebra. Under this there are 7 chapters. The first chapter is number theory. It is number theory. Number theory means here under this one we are going to teach you or give you information about different types of numbers. See, first type of number you have studied when you were in LKG or UKG would be natural numbers or the positive integers. So, natural numbers 1, 2, 3, 4 you have studied. Then you have learnt about the integers, positive as well as the negative integers. Then about the rational number. Rational number means any number that can be written in the form of P by Q, where P and Q are integers and Q is not equal to 0 is called a rational number. And any number which cannot be written in the form of a rational number is called as an irrational number. And all these numbers, integers, rational, irrational, together we call them as real number. Now, these are the numbers you have studied already, and one more type of number which is called as complex number we are going to teach you under this particular chapter. And apart from this, you are going to learn about HCF and LCM, that is highest common factor and least common multiple, and problems connected with them you will be studying under the chapter number theory. The second chapter is sets, relations and functions. Sets, relations and functions. These are the common words we use when we talk to one another. But here in mathematics they have got different meaning. So first we define set. A set is it's an algebra concept here. It is under algebraic structure I can say. So we are going to study about the definition of a set here. And there are 2 methods of representing a set, the notation, the representation, and the types of operation. Like in numbers, now we add, subtract, multiply and divide. Here also different types of operations we are going to conduct on sets. And then some properties are there. Using them we are going to work out some problems. And here again, relation. We teach you about the definition of a relation, the different types of relation we are going to learn, and under function also the same thing. So we have to, if you know about set, you can understand about relation and also about function. Then the third chapter is theory of equations. Theory of equations. Now again, you have learnt about the equation, the simple equation, the quadratic equation, all those things you have studied. So theory of indices. First we teach about this one. Then we will come to the theory of equations. We will come to that later, in the later chapter. Theory of indices. Now index, what do you mean by index? Suppose a number 2 is multiplied by itself, say 5 times. That is 2 into 2 into 2 into 2 into 2. So 2 has been multiplied by itself how many times? 5 times. How do you write this one? We write it as 2 to the power 5. Here 2 is called as the base and 5 is called as the index. For index, the plural is indices. Okay, you are going to study about this one. There are laws of indices, or we call them as theorems of indices. We are going to study about the different laws of the indices and the problems connected with that we will be working out under this chapter. Then the fourth one is logarithm. It is called as logarithms. This is the fourth chapter. Logarithm is here before the people knew about all these electronic gadgets or logarithm, no? For multiplication and division, they were working out in the usual procedure, multiplying each number, each digit by the other one. Same thing in the case of division also. But a British mathematician, he gave an idea that multiplication could be simplified as addition and the division could be simplified as subtraction. So he gave an idea about the logarithm. Under this, we have got two types of logarithm. One is known as the natural logarithm, the other one is known as a common logarithm. So again in the logarithm also we have got laws or theorems of logarithm. You have to study about the proofs of the theorems also, and using the logarithmic table, a book could be given to you. Using them we have to work out the problems. Using the properties, using the laws and using the logarithmic table, we are going to work out some problem. Next is, fifth one is progression. It is progression. Here under this one, we are going to study three types of progression: the arithmetic progression, the geometric progression and also the harmonic progression. We give you the definition, how to find the nth term of that one, and also how to find the sum of the n terms of AP, GP, HP. In short, we say as for arithmetic progression, geometric progression and the harmonic progression. Now, the sixth chapter under the same branch algebra, sixth chapter is theory of equations. Theory of equations. Theory of indices and theory of equations. Both we are going to study under algebra. See, in this one, we are going to study about the different types of equation. First one is a linear equation. What do you mean a linear equation? If the power of the variable is 1, we call it as a linear equation. And quadratic equation. What do you mean quadratic? If the power, say if x is an unknown quantity, if you have got x square term, we call it as a quadratic equation. And how to find the roots of the quadratic equation? There are two methods. One is factorization method, the other one is using the formula. And also there is one more thing we are going to teach you, which is called as the synthetic division. So using these procedures, we are solving the equation which is taught under theory of equations. And then seventh one is linear inequalities. Linear inequalities. You know about the equality. We say A is equal to B, B is equal to A, like that. That is called as an equality. Inequality means here we write A is less than B, or we write B is, so this is less than. We read it as A is less than B. Here we read it as B is greater than A. For example, 2 is less than 3 and we write 3 is greater than 2. So we are going to teach you something about the inequalities. When an inequality is given, how to find the solution of this one. So these are the 7 chapters you are going to study under the branch of mathematics which is known as algebra. Then we come to the second unit, unit 2. In this one, the commercial arithmetic. In the second unit, we are going to teach you the commercial arithmetic. See, the word commercial itself tells you that it is connected with the commercial concepts. So, because you are all students of basic mathematics, you are students of commerce, we teach you arithmetic which is connected with the commercial concept. Under this again, there are 5 chapters. The first one, that is the 8th one, is the simple and the compound interest. Simple and the compound interest. simple and the compound interest. So the interest can be calculated in two ways. Either one is known as the simple interest, the other one is known as a compound interest. For both of them, formula would be given. Using the formula, we will be solving the problems. And in the same chapter, we are going to teach you one more thing, which is called as depreciation. So that is also taught under the same chapter, which is called as depreciation. I am not giving the details here, I am just giving you what are all the concepts you are going to study this year. Now, next chapter is known as Annuities. Annuities here, first he give you the definition of the see here, in annuity means how to find the present value, how to find the future value. So in annuity, it is again purely a commercial concept here. Under this one, we are going to study the present value and the future value of an annuity. The next one, the 10th chapter is averages. It is averages. So first we teach you the definition of an average, and there are three different types of averages which will be taught to you under this particular chapter. The next is the 11th chapter. The 11th chapter is percentage, profit and loss. Percentage, profit and loss. These are the three main concepts. In this chapter we are going to teach you. Here first we tell you what you mean by a cost price, what you mean by a selling price. Now suppose a person buys a thing for 100 rupees, he sells it for 120 rupees. That means he will be getting 20 rupees more. That means that he gets a profit of 20 rupees. Suppose the same thing, if it is sold for 80 rupees, he has already bought it for 100 rupees. If he sells it for 80 rupees, he will be losing 20 rupees, which is called as a loss. So what is the percentage of profit? What is the percentage of loss? All those things we are going to study under this particular, and formula would be given to you again using that one. Formula means singular, formulae, F-O-R-M-U-L-A-E, formulae. For the plural we use, and the problems would be worked out under this particular concept. Now the 12th one is linear functions. Linear functions. Here linear functions means, see here in the previous one we will be mentioning about the cost price and the selling price. Now here again new definitions you will be learning. One is the cost function. The same thing would be written in the form of a function. In algebra you learnt about the function. That concept of function will be utilized here. So cost function, that cost is represented in the form of a function. Cost function, revenue function and profit. Cost means the amount spent. Revenue means what's the income we are getting, and when exactly we will be getting a profit. Here we tell you one more thing, break even point. Break even point means, see under what condition we will be getting the maximum profit. All those things would be taught under the 12th chapter, that is about the linear functions. Now these are the chapters you are going to study under the commercial arithmetic, which comes in second unit. Now we come to the third unit, unit 3. In unit 3, we are going to teach you trigonometry. Now trigonometry, it's an important branch of mathematics. See, actually when trigonometry was developed, the idea was to find the height of the tall towers or distance between any two points, like that. That was the basic idea with which the trigonometry branch was developed. But afterwards, no, it has got application not only in the other branches of mathematics, even other branches of science also. So under this one, we have got two chapters. First one, chapter 13. Chapter 13. Under this, we are going to teach you about the angles and trigonometric ratios. Angles and the trigonometric ratios. Now, an angle, usually till now we were measuring the angle in degrees. Now we teach you one more method of valuing, one more way of measuring an angle, that is known as the radian measure or a circular measure. So under the first one, we teach you about how to measure an angle. There are two methods here. Then the trigonometric ratios, the basic definition. That is, you are familiar with the trigonometric definition here, sin theta, cosecant theta, cos theta, all those things you have learnt here. So first topic is measurement of angles, then we give you the definition of the trigonometric ratios. There are 6 trigonometric ratios whose definitions would be taught, and also there are 3 basic identities in trigonometry. The proofs of them will be taught to you in this particular chapter, that is chapter 13 under trigonometry. The standard angles, the standard and allied angles, we call it as the standard and allied angles. Standard angles means, in the previous chapter, when you take an angle, it may be A, B, C, theta, whatever it is. We will not be giving any particular value in the first chapter. In this chapter, for that angle theta, we give certain values, 0 degree, 30 degree, 45 degree, 60 degrees and 90 degree. These are called as the standard angles. So we try to find the value of the trigonometric ratios of a standard angle. So that is the first one. Allied angle. Allied angle means, suppose you take an angle theta here, then 90 plus or minus theta, 180 plus or minus theta, 270 plus or minus theta, and 360 plus or minus theta. We call them, all these angles, as the allied angles of the angle theta. Suppose an angle is 120, you can write it as 90 plus 30. So theta will have the value 30. Similarly, suppose I am having 240 degrees, 180 plus 60. So theta will be 60. Suppose it is 300 degrees, so 270 plus 30, theta will be equal to 30. So these are called as the allied angles of angle theta. Under this one, there are 3 rules. How to find the value, how to find the sign. Sign means SIGN, plus or minus. That would be taught under the allied angles. So these are the 2 chapters we are going to study under trigonometry. And the last unit, unit 4. Unit 4 is about other branch of mathematics, which is called as analytical geometry. It is called as analytical geometry. This is the 4th unit, and this is the 4th branch of mathematics we will be studying in this one. So it is analytical geometry. Under this one, we have got 3 chapters. Coordinate system. Coordinate system. Coordinate system. In a plane, of course, that has to be specified, because they can be discussed in space also. We consider only in a plane, coordinate system in a plane. Now here, this analytical geometry is also called as rectangular geometry or algebraic geometry, because see this actually to find the distance between the 2 points, we were in the lower classes, no? We will be using either divider or scale to find the length. If you want to find the length of a, the curved line, no? We use a thread and then measure. If you want to prove a theorem, no? We follow the usual procedure. But again, a mathematician, French mathematician, showed that even the problems of geometry could be solved using the algebraic method. So that is that particular idea was developed into a branch of mathematics which is called as algebraic geometry, analytical geometry, or Cartesian coordinate geometry. All the names for the same branch of mathematics. So in this one, we consider x and y axis, and with reference to those x and y axis, now we define the coordinates of a point, that is each point. In geometry, we were marking the point by a dot here. Here in each point would be represented with the help of 2 quantities. We call them as the coordinates of a point. Then we find the distance between 2 points, and there is one more formula called the section formula. We try to find the area of a triangle. Already you know the formula. Area of a triangle is half into base into height. But here using analytical geometry also we can get the area of the triangle. Here each and everything would be represented with the help of a formula or with the help of an equation. That is why it is also called as the algebraic geometry. In the next chapter, locus, it is called as locus. It's a new word you are hearing here. Locus means, see, suppose there is a point in a plane, it starts moving like this, or it may be like this, it may be like this, or it may be a straight line. See, when a point moves in a plane, it doesn't move randomly. It moves according to some specific geometrical condition. So when a point moves satisfying certain geometrical condition, it traces a path here. Whatever may be the path here, that path is called as the locus of the moving point. So each problem, the geometry, we cannot have a common formula for all the problems on locus. So here, depending upon the geometrical condition that is given, we have to find the equation of the locus. But in maximum number of problems, we use the distance formula. Straight line. It is straight line. See, usually we say that, how do you define a straight line? Somebody asks you, what do you say? It is the shortest distance between any two points. But I told you already, in analytical geometry, each and everything would be represented with the help of either a formula or an equation. So here we are teaching you two definitions first. One is called as the slope or the gradient. The second one is called as the intercepts. Okay, using them we will be getting the equation of the straight line in 4 different forms. We will be getting equation for a straight line. And afterwards, now we consider a pair of parallel lines. We consider a pair of perpendicular lines. So when the parallel lines are given, how to find the distance between them? This is another thing. And suppose two lines intersect like this, how to find the point of intersection? All those things. Or suppose 3 lines may be meeting at a point, we say that the lines are concurrent. Concurrent means they pass through a common point. So all these concepts we are going to study under the chapter straight line. So these are the 17 chapters under 4 branches of mathematics, under 4 units you are going to study in first year PUC basic mathematics. Now let me give some information about the pattern of the question paper. You have to be familiar with that also. So in the question paper, there are 5 parts: A, B, C, D, E. And you have to answer. You don't have any choice in this one. All the 5 parts have to be answered. Let me see how would be each part designed here. Now let me take the part A. In part A, there would be 12 questions. And you have to answer 10 questions. Each question carries 1 mark. Okay, you have choice in all the 5 parts here. Part A, Part B, Part C, Part D and Part E. In the Part A, there are 12 questions. There would be 12 questions. You have to answer only 10 questions. Each one carries 1 mark. Then in Part B, there would be 13 questions. 13 questions would be there. You have to answer again only 10 questions. Each one carries 2 marks. Okay, each one carries 2 marks. And same thing in Part C, there would be again 13 questions. Again you have to answer 10, but the marks allotted would be 3. So Part A, 1 mark question, Part B, 2 mark question, Part C, 3 mark question. In all of them you got choice here, 10 out of 12, 10 out of 13, 10 out of 13. Now Part D, here we have got 10 questions, out of which you have to answer only 6 questions. Okay, 6 questions, each question carries 5 marks. It carries 5 marks here. So in all the branches you are having choice here. So here 6 you have to answer out of 10 questions, each question carries 5 marks here. Lastly, Part E. Part E, we have got here 2 questions would be there. You have to answer only 1 question and the marks allotted for each question would be 10 mark here. Now you have to be careful here. The last it is 49 and 50 question we will be having. Here each question has 3 different parts. part A, B and C, here also A, B, C. This is 4 mark, 4 mark, 2 mark, 4, 4 and 2. Now, when they ask you to answer one question, one full question you have to answer, either 49 or 50. You cannot take A from here, B from there, C from here. It's not correct. You have to take all the three, A, B, C from 49 or all the three A, B, C from 50. See, if you take one here and one there, both of them will not be valued. Both of them will be valued, but they will be considering only one question for which you have got the better marks here. So be careful about last one. So totally the question paper would be set for 147 marks. You have to answer for 100 marks. So there are 5 parts here. Each part you have got choice in this one. So 10 out of 12, 1 mark question. 10 out of 13, 2 mark question. 10 out of 13, 3 mark question. 6 out of 10, 5 mark question. 1 out of 2 for 10 mark questions. So this would be the usual pattern of the question paper, and you have to answer for 100 marks here. So study all of them carefully, and in the coming sessions you will be starting the lesson, the chapter, one chapter after another. Thank you.